Once again, the Grizzlies took the floor without their superstar, Ja Morant, and once again, they came away with the victory last night. It was a close one against the Spurs, where, without Ja, the Grizzlies improved their record to 19-2. How do they continue to do this?
Improving each year. 2 years ago, they didn't make the playoffs, but Ja won Rookie of the Year. Last year, they were an 8th seed, a part of the play-in. This year, they're firmly entrenched as the number 2 seed. And you do that by having a superstar, but also having a great team that can perform when he isn't healthy. Jaren Jackson Jr. deserves consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. My killer bees, Dylan Brooks, along with Bane, locking down defensively, making shots, making plays. Melton coming in, but also Tyus Jones in this game played really well. And so as I look at the landscape of the Western Conference, they're a legit contender, Jacoby. And when I think about Coach of the Year, Monty Williams, who's run away with the best record, and Taylor Jenkins, who has a 19-2 record without Ja Morant, those are the two choices I'm waffling as it relates to Coach of the Year.
It's going to be a very stressful voting day for you when it comes to the awards at the end of the season. And when I was looking up who should be Coach of the Year, I was reminded that last year the Coach of the Year, Tom Thibodeau. God, the Knicks are trash. When you look at the Western Conference playoff picture, you see that the number 2 spot is occupied by the Grizzlies, but at the very bottom of that playoff picture are the Lakers, the Spurs, and the Pelicans. The Pelicans took action last night in Portland. C.J. McCollum returned home. He was celebrated, and the Pelicans got the win.
I appreciate the changing of the guard. And shout to C.J. McCollum, one of my favorite people in the NBA. He's going to reinvent himself with the Pelicans, not only on the floor but in the community. Did some great things in Portland. And he's a classic example of a guy that should have got a tribute video. Let me just throw that out there. But for the changing of the guard in the league, and you and I talked about this, how about the fact that LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant aren't in the MVP conversation? Dame Lillard hasn't played all year, and Pop's coaching a team that's barely a part of the plan. It shows you how the young players in the league, and Kawhi Leonard hasn't really played this season. And so now all of a sudden you have these very young players who have now taken their games to another level. It's great to see. Shout to CJ again. Big 9 years with the Blazers.
Well, one of the youngest players in the NBA, Jose Alvarado, did something that he's been doing all season very sneakily and quietly. Look at him in the corner there. Comes up, grabs the ball. He pretended he was part of the bench and came up and grabbed the ball. He's actually done this a few times. Jalen, have you ever seen something like this before in the NBA?
I have not, and I love it so very much. It's the definition of hustle. That's what that is. That's hustle. And deception. Like, he's running really fast. You know
he's always in the corner, but he's in his own bench.
Why don't more people do that? Right? You think, like, why don't more people do that? Well, you got to be running really fast in order to catch up with the person and light on your toes. I like that very much, Jacoby.
I just like it because he always goes by his bench, where out of the peripheral vision of the players on the floor, it just looks like he's another bench player standing up there. It has worked over and over again, but something tells me after last night he won't be able to pull this off anymore.